Here we go. The greatest podcast on turf is back. This is the greatest podcast on turf where 8.5 inches is small. And we're the greatest podcast on turf.
Yes.
Still don't know how 8.5 inches is small. I mean,
God knows.
That's 8.5 inches is closer to like a tripod, like three-legged monster.
Oh boy.
Anyways, we just broke our record of TikToks we saw.
Yes.
12 in a row.
Yes.
Because the greatest podcast on turf, we only post. We don't go on our For You page. So our For You page is a lot of NSFW TikToks, you could say. And every time we record a TikTok, we scroll through and see how many videos in a row we get.
But if we're being honest, the TikTok account is on Anthony's phone. So, look.
Listen, I have a personal account.
I don't know.
Listen.
It's on Anthony's phone and ain't on mine.
I have a personal account that I watch my For You
You have a
page.
burner. You have a burner, and that's fine.
Listen, if the shoe fits, I mean, I do have Birkenstocks on, so I mean, the shoe fits pretty good.
You got a burner, bro. It's fine.
No, but what's it called? We are back today. We're going to be discussing the NFC East offseason.
NFC least, NFC shit.
The worst division of the NFC shit. Yeah, So, yeah, we're going to be talking about the NFC least, Eagles, Giants, Cowboys, and Commander football. The Commanders, right? The Commanders, the Washington Commanders,
sucks.
grading their offseason, discussing some of the moves they make, some potential how next season will go for each team. If you guys don't know how we do this, that's how we do it. We are the greatest podcast on turf for a reason. It's in the name. Merch store will be back up soon. We are having some issues with our distributor right now. Should be back up within a week, I hope. Probably a week.
I don't know. Don't give people a number if we can't fulfill. We'll be back when we get it back. We are ensuring that...
Is that your motto? Don't give people a number.
We are trying to give you guys the best quality stuff, and we will not give you guys crap stuff. So therefore, we are holding back until we can make sure it is the best stuff.
Absolutely. I'm in a pretty good mood right now. I'm gonna put on my rings.
And don't give out numbers that you can't fulfill.
That is why you always be honest.
But we can round up a little bit.
Listen, anything above 5, you round up. 2.5, that's 3.
If you're 5'7", that's 6 foot, because nobody's pulling out a ruler. Actually, no, 5'7",
but probably
5'9".
Probably 5'9", 5'10".
5'9", pull it off. If you're 6 foot, you can say you're 6'3". It's fine.
No, because I'm 6'3" and you're 6 foot, and there's a pretty big difference in the 3 inches. Just saying. 3 inches is a big difference.
I'm 6'1", all right?
Anyways.
6'1", rounds up to 6'2".
Who are we starting off with?
Anybody's wondering. The Washington football team. No?
We'll start off with them. Off-season grade F. They lost Brandon Sheriff, and they traded 2 third-round picks for Carson Wentz.
They got $10 million.
I think I said it all.
Agency.
I mean, I hate to sit here and bash it because if there's any Commanders fans listening
No,
to
we
this,
are going to bash them. I'm sorry, the Commanders. You guys suck. We're
I mean,
Dallas Cowboys.
Listen, we just have to pay for the choices that your terrible owner made.
And yeah, they made a lot of bad choices. They're about to be arrested.
Yeah, they did.
Brandon Sheriff, like you said, lost them. But it was a fair trade because they got Andrew Norwell from Jacksonville.
Andrew Norwell's probably a couple tiers below Brandon Sheriff.
It's even trade.
Yeah, okay.
They lost Tim Settle. They brought back J.D. McKissick, though. So if you believed in Antonio Gibson...
If you drafted Antonio Gibson in a dynasty league, that's unfortunate.
Matthew Ioannidis is gone also.
Who did he go to?
Carolina.
They didn't really need Ioannidis, though. They have Payne and Allen in the interior, so he was kind of just a third option.
It's whatever. It's still talent. Oh, Landon Collins is also gone. They caught him, I think. Not bringing it back at least.
No, they did trade 2/3 for Carson Wentz. Yeah, just around there.
What? In terms of draft capital, they ain't got shit. They got a round 2, round 4, round 6, and 2 round 7s. Who'd they trade their first for?
They don't have they have their first.
They don't.
They pick 11. Washington picks 11.
Sorry ass website.
I was gonna say I did a mock draft today, and
they do pick 11 because they're visiting Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah.
Or they're Kyle Hamilton's visiting, whatever. So they pick 11. Their website sucks, whatever.
I think in terms of free agency, I'm giving it a D, F. They lost Brandon Sheriff, who was arguably their best offensive player besides Terry McLaurin.
Oh, and Terry McLaurin's holding out.
He's still going to workouts and stuff, though, because he is the team leader. I did see that. He's not skipping.
But the other two are holding out.
Debo and
A.J.
A.J. Brown are holding out. Because A.J. Brown was complaining on Twitter that people were calling him a diva and a bad teammate. Terry McLaurin is being a leader, and he is still going to workouts, and he's going to participate with the team.
All receivers are divas.
Christian
They
Kirk
have to be.
kind of destroyed the wide receiver market in the Jags.
Yeah, you know
but that was a conversation for about 2 podcasts ago now. In terms of free agency, like I said, I got to give him a DF. 2/3 for Carson Wentz is terrible. I mean, at that point, you just keep Taylor Heineke. I mean, they seem like they're ready to win now, but I'm telling you, Carson Wentz ain't going to win now. And he proved that last year, and he was on a pretty decent team with the Colts.
Go, send a third for Baker or something. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Why Carson Wentz? Carson Wentz is the same player as Taylor Heineke.
And Carson Wentz is literally more expensive than half the league, probably. So.
Yes. You paid more for Carson Wentz's contract and the capital you gave up for him than you probably would have paid for a lot of other guys.
Yeah, I don't like it. Washington's going to Washington, I guess.
I mean, the win now move, honestly, for the quarterbacks, it was go get Jimmy G or Matt Ryan.
And Jimmy G is literally still available, but nah.
And I mean, what did
Carson?
The Colts flipped one of them 3rd-round picks for Matt Ryan. I'd give up 2/3 for Matt Ryan and 2/3 for Carson Wentz. I don't think that's saying much, but
yeah.
I hate to sit here and bash Washington. If you're a Washington fan, I'm sorry. It's just the team. You have to pay for the choices that your team has made.
You have a good D-line, though.
You have a great defense. I mean, you got
serviceable.
Kendall Fuller and William Jackson at corners. That ain't bad on paper.
On paper.
Jamin Davis
They did fall back.
was okay. And I mean, you do have Chase Young, Montez Sweat,
Jonathan
Allen, and Deron Payne. I mean, that's probably the best defensive line in football.
I
on paper-wise, 4 top 15 of their positions.
Yeah, but the Steelers have had the most sacks since
That's true. I mean, they do
1940.
the second best defensive player in the NFL, but that's true.
Cam Hayward, Stephon Tuitt, and somebody else probably.
Alex Highsmith, they're really high on some reason.
Jake loves him.
Yeah, so does Colin.
But yeah, Washington sucks.
In terms of the draft, though, I mean...
Not Kyle Hamilton, for the love of God.
I mean, Kyle Hamilton is Landon Collins. I mean, if you want to replace Landon Collins with a player, it's Kyle Hamilton.
Or if you want to replace Landon Collins, just bring back Landon Collins.
Yeah, I mean, I think the offensive linemen that will be there aren't worth taking. I don't think Trevor Penning is a first-round offensive tackle. I mean, I feel like
Trevor Penning gets bashed every single day.
Trevor Penning is. I mean, I see it, and I agree with it.
So
Every
good.
tweet I see bashing
so
Trevor Penning,
good.
retweet. I think it'll be 11's kind of early for a Linderbaum or a Kenyon Green to me. I feel like that's kind of early. I don't think Charles Cross, E.K. McQuana, or Evan Neal will be there. So I mean, I think if you're Washington, you're looking at a trade down spot with a team that wants to grab a quarterback maybe before the run of quarterback starts or the tail end of a run of quarterbacks maybe. Because, I mean, you got Detroit, Carolina, Atlanta, just teams off the top of my head that could all be taking quarterbacks. I think Carolina's set in stone at this point. I'm telling you, Malik Willis to ditch 2 is happening. I mean, the Seahawks are in the market for a quarterback. Washington could be a prime spot for a team to move up if a Matt Corral or if a Kenny Pickett or a Desmond Ridder or even a Malik Willis falls out of that top 10. I mean, or I think it's got to be receiver.
Yeah,
you got Terry McLaurin, who's top 10, probably. I mean, Curtis Samuel was hurt all year. And then you got, Diami Brown he's a solid receiver 3, deep threat, serviceable option. But, that will only happen when you have a quarterback that can throw the ball downfield.
Yeah.
And you don't have that in Taylor Heineke or Carson Wentz, so I think it's got to be receiver. Or, the Washington pick is probably Kyle Hamilton just because they've loaded up on defense for the past 100 years and just have tried to just figure it out on offense.
Yeah, if I was them, I'm either taking receiver or trade down, like he said, like you mentioned. They could use the capital and draft capital because
they traded some of that stuff they lost for Carson Wentz.
So they could 100% do that. And then when you trade down to pick 20, you could still grab an okay receiver. It might not be the Garrett Wilson, but it could be the Burks or
the Chris Olave,
who's just as good as,
yeah,
arguably some of them. That's what I would probably lean towards. I would probably trade down, try to get Chris Olave type of deal.
I can't see them trading down, though, just because the trend they've been on is they feel as though they can win now.
I mean, even teams that trade down feel like they can win now.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
That's true, but
if
they're like the Saints, they think they're ready to win now, and they have 2 first-round picks, and they're going to take their 2 guys, or they're going to move up.
Patriots traded down every single year, and they always could win now.
They had Tom Brady and Bill Belichick.
And they have Carson Wentz and Ron Rivera.
Thanks.
I really don't know your point.
All right. But yeah, Washington in the draft, I think we're looking at a trade down or a Kyle Hamilton or a wide receiver.
I vote for trade down, but
I vote for trade down as well, but I can't see it happening.
That's fair.
Dan Snyder, he seems like a guy that's very stuck in his ways. I mean, I don't want to get canceled for name dropping Dan Snyder on a podcast, but I mean,
no, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Another team that's stuck in their ways, the Giants.
They have picks 5 and 7 in the draft in the first round. They also have an extra 3rd round pick, I believe.
I will look in a second. Money wise, where are they at money wise? I guess it don't really matter money wise.
I mean, free agency's coming. Then less. I mean, I know they took a big
nice
losses,
to see. Though. Still nice that they have $7 million. Who the hell are they paying? Leonard Williams, $27 million.
Yeah.
Kenny Golladay, $21 million. James Bradbury, $21 million.
Oh my god.
Yo, what the hell?
James Bradbury's about to get cut.
They're paying Tyrod Taylor $3 million.
How much are they paying? Are they still paying Nate Soldier?
Oh boy. He was cut, wasn't he?
I think so.
He's a $4 million cap
okay,
hit.
so
Logan Ryan is $11 million cap hit.
Who they just lost to the Bucs. They lost their Bro Peppers to New England.
But they have a ton of draft picks. Number 5, number 7, number 36, number 67, 81. And then they go round 4, 2 round 5s, round 6, and a round 7.
They have a lot of draft capital.
Yes, they do.
So, I mean, if you hit on... Hold on.
Oh.
My bad. So they have what? 2, 3, 4. They have 5 picks in the top 115. If you can hit on 3 of those, that's a win.
And you should be able to.
Yeah, because I mean it's hard to miss on 5 top 115 picks.
You can at least get like 2 good starters, 1
Do they have a new
decent
GM
player.
or just a new coach? No, because Gettleman stepped down.
Yeah,
so they have a new
he was
coach
going
and a
his
new
ass was
GM.
going to get fired for being crooked.
Yeah, they have a new coach and a new GM. For new scheme, Daniel Jones is done. I think that they're going to take a quarterback or they're going to trade back or they'll draft one in the 2nd round, whether it's Sam Howell or whoever it is.
They're paying Daniel Jones $8 million.
Who?
Daniel Jones.
I thought you said Damon Jones. That sounds like who?
Damon Jones would be better pay than Daniel Jones.
But yeah, the Giants, I mean, they have a lot of draft picks. It sounds like they really want to move on from that number 5 pick. Keep the number 7 and trade back to probably middle of the 1st round. I'm sure there will be a team that wants to jump up, depending on how the board goes for a Charles Cross, for a Ike Mekwonu, for an Evan Neal.
Malik Willis.
Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yeah.
I mean, those are all guys that, I mean, I could see teams trading up to get.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I honestly, I mocked it. I think I did it by myself. I think Baltimore is a sleeper team to trade up for a top edge if one of them falls. Like a Jermaine Johnson.
I don't think they do it often, but
yeah, I mean, I could see it.
They could.
I just had this intuition, you know. It's like
fair.
I doubt it happens, but I just had I feel like it could happen.
It's fair.
But yeah, they have a lot of draft picks. I mean, they're in a good spot. They're in a weird spot though, where they're paying a lot of guys. They're kind of like the Eagles. They're paying a lot of guys a lot of money to just be like slightly above average.
No, the Eagles are way better than these guys. They have Kenny Golladay, get $21 million.
I understand.
He literally didn't catch a touchdown.
I understand.
He could literally be doing anything else with that $20 million.
I mean, the Giants are Leonard Williams making up close to 30 is terrible. Kenny Golladay being $21 million is terrible to not catch a touchdown.
Oh shit.
I mean, Kadarius Toney showed bright spots who they took in the 1st round last year.
Yeah, they are. That is one spot that they're good. They do have Kadarius Toney.
Yeah. I mean,
he is probably their best player.
Like you said last week during the mock draft, when quarterback is your biggest need, that's your biggest need.
You butchered that, but send it.
You know what I'm saying.
When quarterback is a need, it is your biggest need.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Yes.
They need a quarterback.
Therefore, that is their biggest need. Therefore, at 5, they should get one.
Yes.
Or trade up 5 and 7 to 2 and then go get one.
They also have a lot of big holes. Sounds like James Bradbury's about to get cut. Then that leaves them with Darnay Holmes and Adoree Jackson, I believe. They don't have a safety. They just lost Jabril Peppers and Logan Ryan. Right? Defensive line, they're paying Leonard Williams. They have Dexter Lawrence. They need edge because Azeez Ojulari is their edge one is not the answer. I'm sorry. They need offensive line so bad.
Yeah.
So, I mean, did they bring in anyone in free agency? I don't think so.
Hell no, they didn't do shit. Let me look it up.
Yeah, I don't think they did bring anyone in free agency. You got the list on your laptop.
Oh, I'm trying to. They brought in Mark Lewinsky, a guard.
Okay. Not terrible.
Tyrod Taylor. Hell yeah.
Because they lost Evan Ingram.
They brought in John Feliciano.
Okay.
So they brought in 2 offensive
They
linemen.
lost Will Hernandez.
Justin Ellis they brought in. They brought in Matt Breida. Nice.
Ricky Seals-Jones. So the Giants have a lot of holes. That's more of the story. In terms of the draft, honestly, if I'm the Giants, you keep all your picks. Unless you get an offer, you can't refuse to move back, and you just draft best player available.
Yeah, that's... I don't know. I'd probably look to move back and draft the quarterback next year. Unless Malik Willis is there, because the rest of them are
If
shit.
Malik Willis is there at 5, I think they have to take him.
I agree with that.
If Malik Willis is there at 5, if he makes it past Detroit and any team that wants to trade up, even Houston maybe, like if he makes it to number 5, I think you have to take him. And I think you're stupid not to.
Yeah,
because I'll tell you, if he's there at 6, I think Carolina takes him.
He is by far the highest upside quarterback in the draft. So
yeah, and it sounds like Carolina doesn't think they're going to be able to get Malik Willis because it sounds like they're dead set on Kenny Smallhands.
Or they might get Baker.
Because
he is.
Robbie Anderson is an asshole and hates that for some reason.
Well, Robbie Anderson sucks.
When he's literally better than any quarterback Robbie Anderson's ever played with.
Robbie Anderson wanted to go back to New York to play with Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
At one point.
And he played with Sam Darnold, and we saw that turned out. And I'm pretty sure Baker's better than the quarterback he had thrown to him at Temple.
Robbie Anderson just sucks.
Yeah, Robbie Anderson, you're a bitch. We're Team Baker.
Yeah.
My allergies are killing me, bro. Oh, my God.
Rona?
Yeah. Because I'm not don't even get me started.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, because COVID's coming back, guys, if you didn't know.
It is.
Yeah. Jinx. But yeah, in terms of the draft, if I'm the Giants, I'm sticking all these picks, drafting the best player available.
I'm trading back because my team sucks and I feel like I need to get out of that pick.
It's fair.
And unless Malik Willis is there is no quarterbacks worth taking in the first round this year. Sorry. I'm probably going to be wrong because there's going to be one of the quarterbacks who's going to kill it. But
Matty Corral, baby.
Until that day, riding on the high horse.
Then next, we got
Philly.
Our favorite team, America's team, the Philadelphia Eagles.
They suck so bad. Did you see the Phillies game where they threw the phone in the outfield?
Yeah.
So
Dude, the Phillies fucking blow. I know I'm just starting to get into baseball, but the Phillies are so bad.
The Eagles have $11 million in cap space. They brought in Hassan Reddick, which was decent. Might overpaid a little bit. They kept Derek Barnett. They kept Fletcher Cox. They lost Steven Nelson. They kept Boston Scott. They signed Zach Pascal, which I like because, he's decent and he was very cheap.
Yeah.
I would have took him as a Cowboy for $1.5 million, but that's another story. In terms of draft capital, they have 2 first-round picks. They traded one of them with the Saints. They have a second.
They have a second
2/3, a fourth, 3/5, and a 7th. Yeah.
The Eagles have had a productive offseason. They've bought in Hassan Reddick, like Ryan said. They traded with the Saints and added a first-round pick next year and a second-round pick in 2 years as their Jalen Hurts insurance policy. So that's a good move by them. In terms of the draft for the Eagles,
best player available.
Yeah. When did they pick in the first round?
16 and 18.
16 and 18?
15 and 18. O-line and corner.
Yeah, one of them is going to be corner. It'll be Trent McDuffie or Booth. Then the other one will be...
or receiver.
Probably, Howie loves his wide receivers. He loves draft. He'll draft like a George Pickens.
Sky Moore.
Yeah. Calvin Austin, 5'9", speedster out of Memphis.
Yeah. That's it.
Jalen Rager. Howie's first-round receivers have worked out so well.
That's it.
The Eagles' track record of receivers is so bad. Passed up on Justin
J.J.
Jefferson.
Whiteside.
Passed up on Justin Jefferson for Jalen Reagor, who had 12 yards against the Oklahoma Sooners' best corners in football with Brendan Riley-Hiles and company. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside's over DK, and I mean, I can't really talk. We took N'Keal Harry that draft, but that is a story for last week's episode. Who else? I mean, Devontae Smith, we don't really know yet. He was okay last year.
I'd say it's so far working out, but
yeah. And I mean, like I said, I know we have a lot of Eagles listeners, but
Eagles suck.
In the most respectful, disrespectful way possible, the Eagles are trash.
Nah, I usually back the Eagles. I think they've done good this offseason. Reddick was a decent signing. It might have been a little bit too much. Fletcher Cox was definitely too much. But I guess it's just a one-year deal and you have the money, so why not keep a veteran on the team? You have a lot of draft capital. Your team isn't that good, so it's nice that you have a lot of draft capital.
And they have a lot of future draft capital as well when Jalen Hurts sucks again this year and they have to bring in C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young next year.
I don't hate Jalen Hurts personally. I think he's fine. I don't think he's the
Do we
problem.
have a signature in here somewhere or no?
No, I forgot my Michael
so.
Parsons one.
There's your Michael Parsons one.
I forgot the card.
Oh, damn.
Jalen Hurts, I don't think he's been a problem so far for the Eagles. I think the Eagles literally just suck, and it's hard for him to have success on a team that has an O-line that's really deteriorating, a receiver that's not a true number one, and a running back that can't catch and fumbles all the time. But the Eagles are somehow good. I don't know how I just spun that around. Just completely bashed them.
Destroy the Eagles, but they're good. They're a good team.
They somehow made the playoffs.
You sound like a Philly fan. I know we have all these guys that suck. I mean, to be fair, it was them or the Saints. I mean, it was
so props to Jalen Hurts.
The bottom of the NFC was terrible last year. I mean, I hate to take it. I'll take it away from the Eagles. The bottom of the NFC was
Are the
terrible
Eagles sucking really Jalen Hurts' fault? Is it all?
I'm not going to say it's Jalen Hurts' fault. I won't say that.
Is Jalen Hurts bad or is he middle of the road?
Below average, middle of the road kind of guy.
I think he's like right there in the middle. I think he's
he's
just as good as like Baker.
Really?
Yeah.
It's fair. Team Baker. Love that guy. Come on the podcast, Baker. Check your DMs.
I think he's I don't think that there's been enough to say that he sucks because the Eagles have gotten better since he's been on the team and the team ain't that good.
That's fair.
But somehow he's like making plays. He might not be like the most like talented, accurate quarterback.
It's got to be the hardest thing in the world has got to be playing quarterback in Philly.
Yeah, it sucks.
I mean, it's playing quarterback in Philly is terrible. I mean, and they don't really they have a track record of not like good quarterbacks. I mean, what?
Yeah, because
they had Cunningham, but in our lifetime, who have they had? McNabb, Kevin Cobb,
Mike Vick.
I mean, Carson,
mean people.
Nick Foles, Sam Bradford. Vince Young played quarterback for them for a year, I think. When they had the super team, I'm pretty sure Vince Young was a quarterback for the Eagles for a year.
Yeah.
I mean, they got Nick Foles, Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts. Who knows who the next quarterback will be?
Yeah.
Mark Sanchez.
I'm pulling for Hurts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not praying on his downfall. Eagles, though, I mean, in terms of a rebuild stage, they're in a real good spot because they're starting to get rid of these big contracts. I mean, Brandon Brooks retired. You only got Fletcher Cox for another year. Lane Johnson will be the same story next offseason with him.
The problem is
Kelsey's going to retire. Brandon Graham is pretty sure he's got 1 year left on his deal, maybe. Or I feel like he just got extended.
I don't think so.
I don't know, but I mean, you got Brandon Graham who's getting old. Darius Slay had a great year last year. I mean, the Eagles, if they do this draft right and keep this capital for the next few years, they could be in a good spot. And I'll say if the Eagles do this, I was talking to Sophia's dad about it. If the Eagles do this rebuild right, they could be good again next season.
The only problem with the Eagles that I've seen is that teams that are rebuilding, say the Giants, they have a young player that stands out that could be that dude. The Giants have Kadarius Toney, and when we look at Kadarius Toney, he could be a top receiver because he did flash that a little bit.
Yes.
And say another rebuilding team. Just give me one. I couldn't even think of one too.
Rebuilding team. Who's rebuilding? The Jets.
Jets. They literally have. I mean, do I even have to say it? They have Elijah Moore, who looks super talented, a super young offensive line.
Second-year quarterback.
Mekhi Becton, who looks like he could be the best tackle. Not the best tackle, a top tackle in football.
Yeah.
The Falcons have Kyle Pitts, who was a stud last year. The Jaguars have Trevor, who looked okay. But, I mean, the Eagles, I don't think they really have that. Like, who is their young guy that could be the face of the franchise? And I don't see it unless it's Jalen Hurts.
It might be Hurts. I mean, if Hurts gets a good team around him, who knows?
Like, there's no studs on his. There's no like superstars on his team.
So we all know I have a hate relationship with the Eagles, but I think, in my personal belief, if the Eagles do the draft right this year, and they draft right and use all their assets that they have for the next 2 years, they could be a good team. But
they just don't have no studs.
It's a big if, because when you have Howie Roseman as your owner, who has his hand up the head coach's ass and calls the shots, it can't be ran like that. Like Jerry Jones. The Cowboys always have a good roster on paper, but Jerry Jones has too much pull. So it's like, until you can get out of that, which it sucks for the Cowboys because Jerry Jones, his whole family, they're going to own the Cowboys forever. Him and his sons. But I mean, the Eagles, until you get rid of Howie, I mean, I think Howie's what's holding you back.
I mean, the thing I'm saying about the Eagles is their best players are all old. They have nobody young that can take over. Lane Johnson, old. Fletcher Cox, old. Darius Slay, old. Brandon Graham, old. Kelsey, old. Brandon Brooks, old. Fletcher Cox, old. I already said him. I mean, Goddard, is that their dude that's going to take over? Who the hell is going to step up?
They drafted Devontae Smith to step up.
That's who. I mean, if we're banking on a receiver that's not that I don't think can change the game. I don't think Devontae Smith's ceiling's top anything.
That's fair.
So that's what I'm worried about with the Eagles.
I see what you're saying. I mean, I hate to sit here and bash the Eagles like I said, but I mean, I think that, like I said, if the Eagles play their cards right and Howie can be a competent GM, I think the Eagles can be back to competitive in the division again and competitive even in the NFC next season.
They need to draft somebody that can change the game, or bring in like a honey badger. I don't know. They need to draft somebody that can change the game.
They're keeping tabs on Tyron
because this team doesn't have much of a shelf life until they're god-awful.
Yeah.
Granted, they have the capital to do so. So props to them.
Absolutely. I mean, they have draft picks. I mean, what? They have 2 second-round picks in 2 years. 2 firsts again next year, and 2 firsts and a second and 2/3 this year.
Yeah. I mean,
they have a lot of capital. If they use like I said, if they can play their cards right, I think that they could be there.
But the Jets are in a better situation than them.
Yeah. I mean, that's not really saying much, though. I mean, the Jets have their young quarterback who they drafted on. They have probably a bet on paper. I mean, in theory, they probably have a better line than the Eagles.
Yeah, but the Jets are... The Eagles just made the playoffs. And the Jets are in a better situation.
That's true.
So that's something to look at. Something to notice.
I mean, division's also a lot tougher. Conference is a lot tougher.
I just mean in general.
No, I see what you're saying.
The Eagles won about 10 games and the Jets won about 2. But the Jets are in a better situation.
Yeah.
That is alarming.
I see your point now.
That is slightly alarming.
Anyways, the Eagles...
the Giants might even be at him. That might be a reach.
The Eagles are... I mean, in terms of rebuild-wise, the Eagles are in a better situation than the Giants. Just in terms of capital. But, again, the Giants do have a new coach and a new GM.
Kadarius Toney will probably be better than Devontae Smith.
As long as he's used right and can stay healthy, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
anyways. And the Giants aren't all about to retire.
That's very true. The Giants are not a retirement home yet. They may be...
The Eagles are like...
They may be going bankrupt.
Because they're paying Kenny Golladay.
They're spending $50 million on Leonard Williams and Kenny Golladay. But, I mean, it's just... Anyways. I mean, we'll go round up to 60 if we want to throw Daniel Jones in there. I mean...
Dallas Cowboys.
I'll let you start with this one. Since it's your boys. Your girls?
Yeah, that's fine. Let me. We have $14 million. Woohoo!
It's a lot of money for the.
Yeah, it's a lot of money to not go bring in Honey Badger.
You guys got KZ and Keanu Neal. You're fine. And Kelvin Joseph, who's an accessory to murder.
We do not have Keanu Neal. We don't have KZ either.
Can I say? Then you have Kelvin Joseph. Accessory to murder, Kelvin Joseph.
I think he was innocent. Okay.
He was in the car when a murder. That's accessory.
He didn't know. All right, he didn't know. He was scared.
That's an accessory, bro.
He didn't know he was scared. The guy said he would kill him if he snitched.
I mean...
Keanu Neal was in Tampa Bay for whatever hell reason. With Logan Ryan and Antoine Winfield and
Devin White and...
Whatever. Cowboys lost Randy Gregory, lost Cedric Wilson, lost La'el Collins, lost Connor Williams. Brought back Dorrance Armstrong.
Who?
Dorrance Armstrong.
Is that the backup offensive tackle? Or that's Steele?
Backup defensive end. Steele is our new starter. Brought back Jaron Curse, which was good because he was a stud last year. And we got him cheap. We kept Brian Anger. That's nice.
Brought back Vander Esch.
Yeah.
Who I wanted to the Patriot.
Brought in Dante Fowler. Brought in James Washington.
Did they really?
Yeah.
There's your Randy Gregory replacement.
I mean, he was cheap, and he's not that old. So, that's nice. In terms of draft capital, pick 24, 56. We have 4 fifth-round picks. Hell yeah, we can do something with that. 1, 2, 3, 4 fifths and a 6. Still paying Jalen Smith. The hell?
Tough.
Yeah. In terms of what I want to do, it is either corner because Anthony Brown is not it.
Is he your CB1? No, he's your CB2.
We have Trey Diggs.
Yeah, most overrated corner in football.
Our CB2, Jordan Lewis is our slot guy. Anthony Brown is our boundary corner too.
So Trent McDuffie at 24 would be heaven?
Or Booth, or we need a center because Tyler Biadasz is just god-awful.
So it sounds like Kenyon Green, the guy from, what the hell is his name? The interior lineman from Boston College.
Zion Johnson.
Sounds like Kenyon Green, Zion Johnson, Tyler Linderbaum, Booth, or Trent McDuffie.
But we'll end up with Chris Olave.
Are you wrong?
No. The Cowboys are a team where we're not in a bad spot necessarily because I think we're not in a good spot. I don't know. It's hard to read.
They're in a weird spot.
Zeke needs to go. Tyron Smith needs to go. Zach Martin can stay because at least he's productive. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's not that good. I'm sorry. He was good.
Does Dak Prescott need to go?
Give me Kyler straight up and I'll do it. But I don't think that's saying much. But the good thing about the Cowboys is we do have our young pieces. Like we have the guys that we can build around.
Yes,
you have Carson, Lamb, and Diggs.
I've heard being thrown around there for best defensive player in the NFL.
We have Parsons, Lamb, and Diggs, who you can build around.
Yes.
We also have like Vander Esch, who's pretty good.
You have Zach Martin, and the shelf life on offensive guards lately has been pretty good.
Yes. Curse is a pretty good
role player.
Yeah, he's a solid role player.
He's like the guy who's not great, but he's not bad enough to where he's a free agent on franchise. Like he's always rostered.
He's an 80 overall.
Yeah, he's like an 80.
And that's
compared to like a Rodney McLeod who you get on free agency who's like a 75.
Tony Pollard, who is a stud, but
best running back on the team.
Literally doesn't get any PT. Dalton Schultz, who's okay.
He's playing on a tag now.
Tyron Smith, who's old as shit.
Motherfucker's old as dirt.
Michael Gallup's good. Him. Malik Hooker was really good in the Colts, and I think that he could be better. So, I mean, we have guys to build around. We just suck.
Yeah.
Because of Jerry Jones.
Yep. This is what I was saying earlier.
But the plan is when we trade Dak for Kyler straight up, we trade Zeke for literally anything. Tyron Smith, trade him for something. And then we're fine. We're in the Super Bowl. Take that.
I think you missed a really, really big step.
What's that?
You got to get the fucking you got to get the Joneses out of the Dallas Cowboys franchise. You got to get them away from the franchise. You got to get them canceled so bad to the point where the whole family.
I feel like somebody could have canceled that man by now. He had to say something. He's like 94.
Tell you what.
There's no way that man didn't say something.
Or do something or touch something or.
The Dallas Cowboys team owner that's 94 who's lived in Texas his whole life.
I mean, you see the calendar.
Who is
Jerry
the
Jones?
Whitest man.
Something's got to give.
Yeah,
with Jerry Jones.
I'm going to find it.
How to cancel Jerry Jones?
Yeah. I mean, his daughter tried.
Did she?
Because she thought she said that she was his daughter and sued him. And he was like, "You're not my daughter." And then he was about to be on Maury, but I think
He was about to be on Maury Deadass.
No, that was a joke.
Oh, I was going to say, I was like, holy shit. I was
quality TV, though.
I was going to say Jerry Jones on Maury. That shit.
Jerry.
He would do it for the money.
You are not the father.
The lie detector test determined. Ryan, that did not happen in your basement.
The Dallas Cowboys are off-season grade. We also have Jabril Cox, who might be decent one day. Who knows? Off-season grade is a D.
D?
Not very impressed. But we'll see after the draft.
Because
we've drafted good the past couple years.
Yeah.
Especially last year. Last year was really good.
Yeah, last year you guys went all defense. And the year before that, you guys took CD.
Yeah. And we took CD and Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah. And y'all like to move around in the draft, I feel like, a little bit. Especially day 2, day 3.
Yeah. And we have 4 fifth-round picks. So we usually, like, one of those guys works out.
I'm pretty sure you can turn 2 of them fifths into a 20s in the 4th.
Yeah. And then that could be Brian Asamoah.
That's your Jabril Cox.
That's my Brian Asamoah.
Yeah.
And then Nick Bonito in a second.
Yeah.
Put on the other side of D-Law. And then a corner in the first. And figure out a center in the third. Holy shit, I just won the Super Bowl. Oh my God. Zeke, leave the freaking team.
You just rebuilt the Dallas Cowboys.
Rebuilt the Dallas Cowboys in 5 minutes, and Zeke is horrible.
5 minutes, in 10 seconds. Motherfucker ran down a list of everything that needs to happen. But you know why it will never happen? Because Jerry Jones is a bad owner, and his family sucks.
Can I cut Zeke on his website?
You can go on Madden franchise and cut him. You do it every day. I mean, if you do something every day, you can manifest it.
It literally has to happen.
Manifest it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, what the hell?
In terms of draft for the Cowboys, like I said, it's pretty simple. Interior lineman or corner.
Yeah, I said that shit. Or edge, but probably not first.
No edge.
Unless
at 24, no edge.
Unless Hutchinson falls.
Yeah, okay. In terms of predictions for next season, this is tough.
It's kind of easy.
I'm going Dallas, Washington, Philly, Giants.
There's no way you got Washington over Philly. You got Carson Wentz over Philly? What the hell? I got Dallas, Eagles, Washington, Giants. The only reason I have Dallas over Philly is because we have the established quarterback. Yeah. We just have the better quarterback, and that usually works out.
Next year, though, this may be different depending on how the Eagles play their cards.
You can literally say that about any team.
Because
we could be really good next year too,
or really bad.
If we have Dak, we'll be serviceable.
Fair, because Dak Prescott is every year. Dak Prescott is starting to look more and more like Kirk Cousins. Just average.
I mean, he did win a playoff game already, and Kirk hasn't.
Cousins has definitely won a playoff game.
Where?
He beat the Kyle Rudolph.
That bullshit.
Listen, a win's a win. Kyle Rudolph literally mossed Marshawn Lattimore in the corner of the end zone on a goal line fade when he was split out wide 1-on-1 with Lattimore. Kyle Rudolph mossed him. Kirk Cousins threw the perfect.
Is that the same Minnesota Miracle thing with Diggs?
I think it was. It might have been the year after that, or it may have been.
So Kirk Cousins has 2 playoff wins, or was Sam Bradford one of those?
Kirk Cousins was both of them.
Are you sure?
Case Keenum was the Minneapolis Miracle.
Yeah.
So Kirk Cousins has at least 1.
Let me look this shit up. Kirk Cousins sucks. Kirk Cousins playoff stats.
I'm telling you, Dak Prescott is looking more and more like just another average, serviceable quarterback. I mean, we'll call him Matt Ryan, a step above all the average Joes.
We'll call him Matt Stafford before Matt Stafford won.
We'll call him Tony Romo because he's a Dallas Cowboy. We'll call him Tony Romo.
At least he didn't drop a snap.
That's true.
Like Tony Romo did.
That's very true.
Can I find the playoff stuff? For the love of... playoff. Oh, there it is. Did he win? 0-1 and 1-1. So, yeah, he won in 2019.
See?
Good for him. Let me look up Dak Prescott. Let's see how many... I think he's only won 1.
Sounds about right.
And then he lost to the Rams. Yeah. He might have won 2. Nope, he won 1.
Need I say more?
To be fair, 1 year he did hurt his ankle.
You know what we forgot to do in both episodes?
What we do?
Shout out our amazing sponsor.
Little Italy Pizzeria, best cheesesteaks, best pizza in all of Delaware. 2 locations. One of those in Middletown, Delaware. The other one is in Townsend, and it's a great family business, great food, great people, great prices. Be sure to come in and check it out. Let them know that the greatest podcast on turf sent you. They will take care of you. Show proof that you're subscribed and that you listen to us, and they will hook you up with an additional discount.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget and watching. Whether you're watching this on not on Instagram. I don't know what I was. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or listening on Spotify or Apple, check out all of our other content, all our previous content, NFL draft content next week. It's my second favorite day of the year, behind Christmas, ahead of my birthday.
Yeah.
Honest to God, I was saying it earlier, my dad. It was Christmas, the NFL draft, my birthday.
Fair.
As favorite days of the year. Check it out. Next week, we will probably have 3, 4, 5 uploads. Because we got our final mock draft, our live reactions, and our first round grades. And then the week after will be our NFL draft grades.
Yeah.
So probably 3, 4 episodes next week. Within the next 2 weeks.
Give or take.
Yeah. So we will see you guys next week. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok as well.
See ya.
Peace.